Welcome to the Throwdown.
All right, Doug.
All right.
What? This had to have been changed in the middle of us talking.
You think so?
I feel like there's no way that this is just super serendipitous.
Well, if you're not familiar with the Throwdown, it's essentially an opportunity for fans of our podcast to put together two things that enter a ring of death and only one can leave. And here we are with our two for this week. Justin, hit the drum roll.
You got it.
This week's Throwdown is Tommy Oliver, the Green Power Ranger, versus full DC overpowered Batman.
That is so funny.
Very, very funny.
So I'll say this much about.
So, but they said the green because this takes you to Tommy Oliver's page, and you've got to choose old Tommy, human DT, ninja, green, white, red. So I'm going to click on green. We're going to go with that.
Oh my God, that is so much.
Yeah, he's been a number of Rangers. You've also got to think about Lord Drakon, an alternate universe Tommy, who was introduced in the comics, so in the comics, he's evil at first, or in the TV show, right? Evil at first, under Rita repulses spell, and then gets freed and becomes a good Ranger. Lord Drakon, an alternate universe version of Tommy, who never becomes good, and basically ends up ruling the planet. And gets all of the powers from all of the Power Rangers through time and space. So if we're talking about him, I feel like it's game over for Batman.
Well, I feel like any character that can summon a giant robot, has a significant advantage over an overpowered Batman. Batman may have EMP abilities or some shit like that in his back pocket, but physically. Because, again, we're under the assumption, too, that these two don't know the battle's going to happen. Because if you give Batman prep, there's probably something he could come up with.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Batman.
When they're saying full OP Batman, like with this is Batman post-Flashpoint that we're looking at. And there's base Hellbat armor and God of Knowledge, which is that true OP Batman, or are we just doing the base post-Flashpoint Batman?
Is the God of Knowledge thing when he sits on the throne and knows about who the Joker is and shit? Is that what that's referring to? I didn't know he got a power boost from that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that character is a tier 9B, Doug.
Batman pays his taxes. The Power Rangers don't pay taxes because they're meant to be teenagers in high school, so they don't have an income.
Oh, there are
in fact, if you think about it, Power Rangers, right? Driven by the youths, right?
Yeah.
Donating their time and experiences for the common good versus a capitalist billionaire. This really is a dichotomy between socialism and capitalism right here. I don't know. I feel that And then you got to think about the character brutality, because one is from a kids' TV show, and depending on which version of Batman you go with, if you're talking about this new one, the Robert Pattinson Batman, looks pretty brutal. He might be willing to push it a little further than.
Well, I don't know
than Tommy is the Green Ranger.
So we have a council of elders that decides these throwdowns, and what they've indicated to us is they're saying full DC OP Batman. So. Okay. I'm assuming that this is God of Knowledge Batman. And he is definitely in true DC fashion, they have straight OP'd him. So
his speed is massively hypersonic, massively faster than light.
Catch that, Tommy.
His lifting strength is unknown, overpowered and threw Superman and resisted the pull of an artificial black hole. Jesus, striking strength, but wall class. He can break a wall, apparently. So
I love how
up to solar system class, punched woman hard enough to send her crashing into a wall, can trade blows with Superman. Solar system class? Who makes these things? I part of me loves reading this stuff out because it doesn't make any sense. His striking strength is solar system class. Incapacitated new gods like Godfrey and Calabac and made Darkseid bleed with a punch.
I don't know if you're following what's going on in the chat right now.
Oh, there's a straight up.
The council may have tore itself asunder. Like a riff has happened.
Yeah. This is.
Whew. Oh boy,
they're really going to the council.
Let's trouble. Do this. Let's to try to bring a little bit of.
He has normal human weaknesses. Refuses to kill unless absolutely necessary, and is reluctant to use firearms due to childhood trauma. So, I mean, is the Green Ranger is he known to kill? Is that his jam? Is he willing to do
that?
Shoot out of some putty patrol.
Here's the thing: if we're going up against this God of Knowledge, Batman, I do think we need to be talking about alternate universe Tommy Dracon at his height, and now so spoilers for the comics. What ends up happening is that he starts absorbing all of the so he's evil, right? He never joins the Power Rangers. He ends up killing Rita Repulsa, so he doesn't have the same like penchant for not killing, so he is willing to kill Batman. And then on top of that, he is stealing the powers of the Rangers and adding them to his own. So he actually, here, let me actually show you the figure. So by the end of it,
I love this. If you're listening, we'll describe it to you.
He looks like this.
Whoa. Okay.
That's what the armor looks like.
Hold on. Okay.
Kind of this gold and black armor. Yeah, it's sick as fuck. By the end of it, he completely collapses the morphing grid, which is basically like the energy that holds the universe together, and creates his own universe where he is a god. So
this seems pretty comparable at that point then. I mean,
this seems pretty comparable, and he isn't held back from not killing. So
that's a big key. Batman does have his have that stupid code.
But he also has incredibly high intelligence. He's nigh omniscient. So he's precognition. He can predict the future in this state. So if he can predict the future, I would say for a character that also is super big on planning, if he can predict the future based on these stats, I think even though they're going to be tossed into a ring, he would anticipate that, right? That they'd be tossed into a death match, and therefore he would have a plan in place.
Well, didn't you say that he that the Lord Green Ranger was? didn't you say what was that he like was on the edge of space time, or he was like he
created his own universe, like basically like the universe collapsed and he created his own reality in which he was basically all of the power. Like it's funny because it's actually a really good storyline, because you find out that at the end of the day he just kind of wanted to be friends with the Power Rangers, because they're all like, everyone loves him and they're all like his best friend, and they're all like hanging out and stuff. So that is the thing, is like, sure, he has precognition, but if it's Dracon and he's built this universe, like he can make Batman do it. Maybe Batman thinks he has precognition, but it's really Dracon in the background.
Yeah.
I just really kind of want the Green Ranger to win this one.
That's fair. I mean,
let's take God abilities out of it. Let's just take it back to Green Ranger versus Batman. Like,
no, I want to keep him. I want to keep him overpowered. I think that makes sense, because here's why. Well, if we take it back to normal, I think Green Ranger with his special abilities and what he has at his disposal, I think he defeats Batman. And I think God level, if Lord Dracon is creating a reality, I think that trumps what Batman has going. Even though Batman has a lot going for him, precognition doesn't mean anything if someone's warping your reality. Like that,
right, exactly.
So I'm going to give it to the Green Ranger regardless.
Yeah, I feel like even if he's not creating the reality, I mean, Batman can be as precog as he wants, but I just think Tommy's or Lord Drakkar Noir has enough, under his in his little belt.
The other thing is I'm looking at these pictures of God of Knowledge Batman, right? And he's sitting in this chair, which is giving him the knowledge. Can he leave the chair? Because I feel like if he has to stay in the chair,
everyone pees, right?
He's pulling a Winnie the Pooh, and he's like, think.
Like, I'm not seeing an image where he's not sitting in this chair. So he seems pretty restricted with what he can move. Plus, honestly, at the end of the day, even if we're talking about OG Green Ranger, can anything beat the Dragon Zord? Like,
right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if he's like
down.
and like a giant thing comes down, I mean, what's Batman gonna do?
Can we all also agree he held that the most awkward way possible every time he played it? I can't remember how it was.
This way, so it's underhand like this. Yeah, and it's funny because the figure that I have here, I'll bring him up. I'll grab him real quick.
This might be my favorite throwdown ever. we've got visuals here, guys.
And if you're listening, fuck you.
OG Green Ranger. And yeah, this actually, the hand on this one has the flute fingers, so the fingers are actually in playing. So, and yes, he holds it like this, like so. So he's holding it underhand.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also say I do like the image of Batman sitting on the throne going, "No, you come here." Come here, just real quick before we just come here.
I predicted you would come to me.
Yeah, I did before we start.
I sent you an email before telling you to come right here, so I knew it would happen.
Closer? I can't hear. What's that? You'll need to come closer. All right, cool. So we're doing Green Ranger for the win!
Yes. Well, that was excellent, and I thought we, aside from being an expert in video games, an expert in Power Rangers also. Your knowledge helped us come to a conclusion, so thank you, Tom.